I'm not sure if like the way that I'm looking at it, I'm not sure if it's going to show up or not. Maybe Nathan, you can jump in and tell us. I can't see Tyler, so but just so everyone knows, if you want to like scoot closer and get real friendly with Daniel, then I could see him.
Well, so on my widescreen, he's in there. So if you actually full screen my screen, he's there.
Yeah, there you go.
And so that's what the recording's going to do, I think.
Because otherwise, I'm like the mic personified.
That's true. I mean, it just depends on how close you get to Daniel. You can be like right up on it. No, you're you're good. No,
But Nathan, your call. If you let me know what I need to do.
We do have to remember though that when we edit the video, it's gonna be these two kind of vertical frames, because you guys are gonna be two vertical frames put together. So what you see right now with like the two verticals, that's how it's gonna basically look.
Do the vertical, man.
So vertical and the horizontal.
Activate the vertical.
So
mode.
If you both can be in the same frame on vertical, then it's gonna look a lot better.
We gotta go vertical.
Okay, well let me get
horizontal with Daniel's.
Oh. Shit. This is 4 videos in a row that we've
we're on a streak.
Okay.
We have to start recording this thing. I have to leave in like 45 minutes.
Yeah. I think the show's almost over at this point. I've covered all the topics
all we need now is our weekly Jujutsu Kaisen spoiler from Jonathan.
So should we go into
Tyler?
Jujutsu Kaisen spoilers?
Have you read Jujutsu Kaisen?
Hello. I saw the first season of the anime and read up to that similar time frame. I haven't seen since, but I don't care about spoilers.
I need you to be the man besides myself that pushes Daniel to read the rest of Jujutsu Kaisen, because it's so good, and it's like
Damn. And I think you'll like it even more than I do.
It just gets better, like as you keep going. Like right now, it's in a really good spot, and
my motivation is
so high,
so low.
How do we get it higher?
Why is it low? Well, I don't know. A few weeks ago, you told me
now you're depressed.
Now, why do I even read?
just why do I even?
But no, we've been going. I decided just to watch as far as I can and then pick up on reading. We're almost done with the second season for what's out so far.
Okay.
And then I'll read.
Okay.
I'll read some more. You know, Tyler got me to catch up on One Piece, and if he can get me to catch up on
Tyler's
One Piece
the
reading,
key.
I can catch up on Jujutsu Kaisen.
I am, and I give you permission to pause One Piece for a couple weeks.
You take that back.
I will. Oda has enough breaks. You can take a break.
Listen, I think everyone here is caught up.
So okay.
Piece, though.
So let me tell you the shows I'm watching right now, because I do like to talk about the shows, especially with the new season, because it's the fall season now. They're coming out with a new slew of animes. So Berserk of Gluttony. I think I told you a little about that one, Daniel, where the guy thinks he has like a horrible skill called gluttony, where he's just like hungry all the time. He's like, this sucks, I'm just hungry all the time. And it turns out he ends up getting a job where he's like on guard, and he ends up having to kill somebody, like in defense. Like he was getting attacked, and he defeats someone, and that activates his skill of gluttony, and he basically is able to absorb power, and he now can read minds. So that obviously is a huge power up for him. Before that, all the nobles were being like super jerks to him and just like picking on him, and and just treating him like dirt. And now he's kind of, you could see where it's gonna go now a little bit, right? He now has like an OP power, and he's gonna turn things around. So that one's looking good. There's only 2 episodes out right now, so as you know, I like to give it 3 episodes. If it's still good after 3 episodes, then I'll keep going.
That's fair.
So
that's fair. I mean, it just seems to me like a kind of a similar to Black Clover, where you have like the nobles who are making fun of Asta for being a poor person. Then he gets his, he has his anti-magic ability, and no one sees him as quality, but you can obviously see where it's going because he starts becoming OP.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, and probably on a much smaller scale, but it's still interesting and fun to watch. The new show that I'm watching is called. It's kind of a. I don't like a lot of slice of life shows. I like slice of life shows that have a comedy aspect to it. But I think there's 3 episodes of this show out now, and the second episode, I was laughing the entire episode, like out loud. So I feel safe in suggesting at least giving this one a try. It's called The Family Circumstances of the Irregular Witch. So quite the name.
Family Circumstances of the Irregular Witch.
So there's not like
witches are cool.
It's a slice of life, so it's not like this super complicated plot or anything. But it's a witch who finds a baby, who obviously has witch powers, and it was just like a baby that was like left out in the middle of nowhere, right? And she's like, well, I guess I'm gonna raise this witch. And she very quickly, she's like, it goes into the future a little bit, and she's 16, but she looks like much older than 16. But she still is like this mom complex. Like nobody can take my mom away from me, and she gets like really defensive when anybody like encroaches on her territory, and she's really too powerful for how young she is. But like this last episode, there was a friend of the mom who came over, and he really likes the mom, and the young girl witch knows this, and she's just trying to thwart him the whole time and doing a really good job. He doesn't stand a chance. So that's another good one. Spy Family season 2 just started. I know you like that.
Oh, nice! I do. Have you seen Spy Family?
I have not.
My god!
That one. It's like
oh my god!
Out of the ones I just said, like Spy Family, it's obviously a little bit more mainstream popular, and for good reason. It's
right.
It's very wholesome.
It's very wholesome.
Family. That's what I hear.
It's super cute.
It's really, I mean, very little action, but it's super cute. And the action it does have is well placed and funny. Like, oh man, I'm so excited season 2 is coming out.
Okay.
That's great.
I don't know if you want to tell Tyler a little bit about that show. Just kind of a synopsis.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you've heard a lot.
I've heard a lot about it. I was gonna watch it, but I prioritized Chainsaw Man at the time. I hadn't seen either. So I was like, I'll watch Chainsaw Man. I'll get back to Spy Family. But it just seems like these agents, and they're put together in this family union.
And kind of. It's you have the best spy.
Yeah. Okay.
Basically in the world, you could say, and he's sent to go infiltrate another country. And the lady, she's not a spy; she's an assassin. But she doesn't want to get found out for being so old and not married. So they don't know each other or who each other are. So they basically just get together and make a fake marriage. and he needs a daughter to make his plan work. So he goes to an orphanage and finds someone with like no papers, which is the little girl, and adopts her. And they basically make
who
this
happens
fake family.
to be psychic.
Yeah, she's a psychic. The mom's an assassin.
I knew she has something, but that was just incidental. But the daughter.
Yeah, the daughter's had that forever, and then the wife is an assassin. The dad's the world's greatest spy. Like, he's known throughout the entire world as the best spy. Like, he's kind of a myth. How good he is. Like, everyone knows about him.
Okay.
And it's just so good to see because the little girl knows everything that's going on.
She's the only one that knows everything that's going on.
Mom's an assassin. And they think they're keeping it away from everyone else, but she's just like, oh my gosh. And yeah, the essential premise is this family gets together and she has to basically become one of the best students at a boarding school, but she like sucks at school. And so,
which is like,
so yeah, that's the
weird because I mean she does get a little bit of help, just unintentional help because she can read minds, but usually when there's like a mind reader in a story like that, they're super smart, but she's not. She has to work really hard, so it's a nice change. Like she's doing her best, but she's not the smartest. But she loves spy shows, and she's like, you can tell that she kind of wants to be like her parents, even though they have no idea.
Crazy.
Okay, you don't have to tell me. I'm guessing there's like some like incidental romance between.
Oh, it's
parents,
very humorous romance between the parents,
cool.
like because they have to keep up appearances,
right?
But they neither of the the mom especially Yor has no experience with romance at all, and Lloyd has only like for his job he's had to do what he's had to do, so he's more confident, but she's like not, and so just like you look at that, there's some episodes I won't say anything about them, but oh man, it's hilarious.
I think that would draw me in more.
Nate, I actually think you'd really like Spy Family as well. I don't know why, but I've always thought that you'd like it. It's wholesome. It's not so much like an anime.
You're a wholesome family man.
Yeah,
you're a wholesome
Nate. That's what we call you.
It's your nickname.
That's what we call you, Wholesome Nate.
We just came up for you.
Nickname.
It's something they've called me ever since middle school.
That'd be the worst nickname to have in high school. Oh, there's Wholesome Nate. Go down.
That's how we got all the ladies.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, actually, I have learned that I think if a girl asks you, are you kind of like a good guy or a bad boy, and if you answer that you're a good guy,
you get knocked down 3 points.
Like instantly, can't date the girl. Yeah. They like don't want to date. For some reason, they want you. The correct answer is bad boy.
Yes.
But
because they're gonna fix you.
But Nate, I picture 100%. If you were on a date with a girl and she asked if you were a good boy or bad boy, you'd be just like Roy in the IT
I'm just
crowd.
a lonely loner.
It's the girl who's bad.
A
Loner.
Walking a lonely road. As we're sitting in a family
we get the
restaurant
clown in here.
with clowns,
the clown over here.
Barbecue.
Yeah, so sorry, Nate. I don't know. Maybe you can pull it off, but we'll see.
Well, I just have to get some really dark sunglasses, a leather jacket,
easy,
a fedora because bad boys wear fedoras.
Only
I think
cool bad boys wear fedoras.
Yeah. And then I will show up to my date, and I'll just talk in a very deep voice and say, "Hello, I'm a bad boy." Oh, you know what I could do? I could actually do my Bane impression with an Australian accent. That would seal the deal.
Yeah, that's the winner. You'd get any girl. They'd be.
I'm just thinking about it. That's a lot. Goodness.
Yeah. Good ideas.
So on that note, you should watch Spy Family.
Okay, I'm hooked. I'm gonna check it out.
Oh man. I guess I can briefly say what I've been watching. I just finished this first season of My Happy Marriage. I don't know if you ever heard of that one, Tyler.
I don't think I have. You don't have to tell me
a brief excerpt on it. I said it last week, but a brief excerpt on it is you have the big families of Japan, and it's kind of in the era where like automobiles are being invented.
Okay.
So like still old time, but modernish time. And each family is born with like powers of some kind that is inherited.
So like season 1 of Korra.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Keep going.
And so basically, this really rich family has this daughter. It's a Cinderella type story, and they want to get rid of her. So they try to set her up with this really rich, powerful guy who like never can accepts like the ladies that get sent over. So they just take a chance, and they end up falling in love, right?
Oh.
Anyways, it's a romantic one, pretty slice of life, but then these random scenes of like. Essentially like Avatar Last Airbender bending abilities where they shoot lightning and fire and wind and everything. Oh. But it's adorable.
Cool.
I don't know if everyone should watch it, but I think that if you're just into a nice feel good, feel justice story, watch it.
I'll be honest, I started watching it.
And then
the first episode.
Was it too slice of life?
It was just 11 o'clock at night, and I was tired, and I fell asleep pretty quick. So,
don't watch it late; you will fall asleep. There's a lot of good colors, and it's really like
it's gentle. A little too soft, like slow going, or I guess gentle is the right word. So
yeah,
okay, I have to try to watch it. Like anytime before 10 for me.
Like right when you put your kids down for bed, say, get your wife, say, hey, we're gonna watch this really cute show, and just go sit down on the couch.
I know Mia would like it. I think she would definitely like it. So.
Oh man, yeah. Sarah and I are just like the new episodes we gotta watch. I feel like when Lost was coming out like 20 years ago or whatever.
Oh, Sarah and I.
It's Wednesday night. Lost just came out. We gotta sit down and watch it. That's how I kind of feel with it. And then it just ended. I'm like, it got renewed for a second season, but I'm still frustrated because I was just really invested.
I'm gonna switch gears real quick. Were those drawings?
It's okay.
Have they been there? Like, how long have those been there? Yeah.
On the fridge? Those have been there since we started. I just always cover it with
your
my
body.
Big body. Yeah, you have a chicken, a frog, and a Pikachu.
I couldn't tell what the one on the.
So
I couldn't tell
Sarah,
what the one on the left was. It's a frog. Okay.
Yeah, it's a frog, the green one.
Frog. Who did Sarah do all of those?
No. So Sarah did the chicken, and Jocelyn did the frog and the Pikachu. Jocelyn's one of Sarah's friends who also sells art at the conventions.
Jocelyn's very good at art,
and she does really good art, but she also does very goofy art. And so I said, I just have this fridge. It's just this white fridge. It's so boring in the background. So they came out real quick and just doodled on it, so I wouldn't have a boring background piece. So I need to have them come add some stuff next time.
Did you get a new figure as well? But did you have that Saitama? When did you get that?
Oh yeah, Saitama's up there, and
when did you get Yamato? Is Yamato?
At Saboten, I got Yamato. My Saitama is not new; it's just been in a box since I bought it because I never had a place. And then I also. Oh, you gotcha. I also got Samurai Chopper. And then I found, everyone's going to hate me because I'm not going to remember his name, but Tyler knows it perfectly. I found the pigeon.
Oh,
Hattori?
Hattori.
Yeah.
I found Hattori, so now Rob Lucci is complete.
Where was he?
He was in a box. I had to dig for him because Hattori comes off his shoulder.
Nice.
Yeah.
And
Pretty
so,
bold of you to put Yamato up with the Straw Hats.
Hey man,
I
Interesting.
can hope
that's where she belongs.
she will join eventually.
Oh, I'll get that copium. Yeah.
Go to that copium.
I saw.
Listen, she's gonna hop on his boat, the ship eventually, and they're gonna
So
go somewhere.
the last.
Hey.
So
It
with
is
the
what it
last
is.
episode of One Piece, which we definitely are going to talk about, they Crunchyroll came out with like a YouTube video. The title said Yamato joins the pirates, or Luffy and the Straw Hat Pirates.
Straw Hats, yeah.
And the first comment was, "Person who wrote that and knew what they were doing." Knew exactly what they were doing. And I liked it. I was like, "Yeah, he does, that punk."
Yeah.
How dare you?
Oh,
Yeah. End of Wano was a whirlwind for sure.
it is a whirlwind.
They like hit a wall
Yeah.
and stopped instantly. It was
I'm just
kinda
waiting for
weird.
Green Bull now. Coming.
Yeah,
swooping.
I feel like a lot when Wano ended, it just like stopped and then just like 0 to 100 just instantly.
Now we're on
like,
Egghead Island.
You know, Law and Kid. It's just like, nope,
You're gone. Get out of here.
Thanks for
right
saving us.
now.
Get out.
And it's
Just
like
get out.
just make them almost emperors practically.
To be fair, it was not
And,
more like thanks for
Uh,
saving us. We're out. Like it wasn't get out. We're just like, yeah, we got other things to do now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Tyler and I were just talking about the power scaling and how it feels really
Oh.
off right now. Maybe.
You mean
There's just a lot going on
Yeah.
right now. With One Piece specifically.
Yeah.
In those chapters.
Yeah, I assume you're talking
Like,
about
Which,
the elder who just turned into a demon, or
yeah.
and
Saint Saturn.
Well, and just awakened mythical
There's-
zones in general.
there's too many of 'em.
Just a lot of. Well,
There's
yeah.
a-
Well, I was gonna say like Kaku. I don't think
No.
anyone needed Kaku
Why?
to be awakened. Like, is Kaido awakened? I don't know, but we have Kaku. Wow. Like,
yeah.
it's stuff like that. I'm like, and then there's advanced Conquerors hockey, and then there's Gear 5, and all just so many levels.
I
of
could
stuff
see
that-
Rob
just a lot to keep
Lucci.
track of these days.
Okay, he can awaken his, but yeah, Kaku was a bit much.
It's like,
You're a
dude.
giraffe.
What are we doing here?
Yeah.
He's stuck in a bubble now.
I harken back to Enos Lobby when he eats it and then like instantly tries to figure it out. And he's like, "This is how giraffes do." It's like, no, they don't. They don't like compact into a cannon and spin in a big circle with their neck. And
Well, looking
grab-
back, we should have expected more, like with Queen and King
I
and
know.
their weird. Like, it was always there from the beginning.
with Frankie, is this how dinosaurs work?
Exactly.
Yes, the helicopter.
But yeah, Saint J. Garcia
No, I don't
Saturn.
think-
That's
yeah.
pretty nuts.
A lot going on.
Turning into a yokai,
Yeah,
It's
basically.
pretty nuts. Yeah.
It's outrageous.
Which I'm glad. I was worried the elders were going to just be old guys. So I'm glad that they're cool,
Yeah.
powerful guys. But it's a can of worms for sure. Like, what the heck is Emu?
Yeah.
I don't know. He's got to have something. Like, it makes sense that the elders all have a mythical level devil fruit because they've been around
knows
for
how
so
long.
long, and the government has been searching.
Right.
Even if they didn't all have a devil fruit right away, I'm sure they've been like, "Hey, we know about this devil fruit. Go find it. Okay, you eat it now. You eat it." So
Right.
they've
Yeah.
like hoarded them and made sure that they had
Yeah.
the most powerful ones, which makes sense. But man, it's outrageous how like we are at a point in the new chapter where they have to have a Deus Ex Machina in some way, because, and there's the two obvious ones, but Luffy's out of time, Sanji's the strongest person present, which that's never a good thing.
So what are your
Sorry,
what are your guys' predictions on who that is? Because mine is Kuma. Like, that's the only thing that makes sense to me. He's been trying to get there. I don't know who else is trying to get there right now.
I mean, I think it's either Kuma or the Iron Giant that's been awakened recently. That's the only thing I can think of. But I like the idea of Kuma more, because Bonnie's right there. Maybe give us a vehicle to a backstory. Mm-hmm. Maybe? I need it. I need to know.
Same.
I mean,
I need it.
Like, and I think we might be thinking too small. It could be both. I mean,
yes,
because Jay Garcia is right there, and he's gonna kill them. So I could see like Kuma flying in and sending like Borsalino, you're gone or something, and then Jay Garcia just kills Kuma or something, you know, and it seems helpless. And then that giant, give the giant enough time to come and just like do something. You know?
Well, and that'd be cool when he does
I do think it makes the most sense for her Kuma to just send the Gorosei somewhere else, because like he can't take him.
I think that
cool. There's no way.
No, he's got to send him. I just, in my mind, it's like, can he? I guess it makes sense that he could, but like,
can Kuma take the Gorosei?
Well, like
just
send
transport
him
somewhere else.
It depends on the whole hockey thing, like if his hockey can negate it or whatever, but that'd be cool. Just be like, go back home. Go back to Marijoa. We're not ready for you. Go away. I don't know.
That'd be one heck of an eye-opener. Like, there's a small village, and they're like out fishing, and all of a sudden the ancient Japanese deep cow spider demon shows up. Because he probably doesn't have like a lot of time to figure out where he's going to go. So
yeah, with the cow spider demon.
Yeah. And then he's just like what the? So that'd be cool. There's a lot going on, and it can either end very fast, or this could just become, 15 chapters of them trying to survive this horror film.
Right.
That is,
and knowing Oda, demon, he's just gonna tease us with this. Like, oh, look at this. You get to see Agorosei's power. Now he's gone. You'll find out more in 2 years.
Right. Dang it. If you're lucky.
But I mean, I'd imagine his power has to be dependent on, because it was, they told like all the lower level Marines to like not look at him, and that dude's head exploded, which was pretty nuts. So that's got to be like hockey based, like how strong are you? Can you handle it? Kind of like Big Mom with her soul ability.
Yeah.
So that's what I was thinking. But I wonder, like, just the whole magic circle thing, and it's like, oh, I haven't been to the surface in so long. It's like, does he need that circle to be able to go to the surface? Because he didn't have that in Marijoa with Sabo, so it's like, I don't know, is his power dependent on Imu? There's just, even with mythical Zoans, like, he's still so unique. Like, I don't know what...
I mean, Sabo was still able to escape with all of them there, so... I mean, he can't be...
It's true.
Like, so powerful that, I don't know.
Like, I don't think he's stronger than Kaido.
That would be a power scaling problem for sure. Like, because they would have taken him out a long time ago.
And that's what we're worried about. There's just a lot. Yes.
Yeah. It just comes down to the Emperors... forever in One Piece were the strongest, and that's why individually, like they were kept individually,
Yes.
And that's why they had the warlords, because they had to have a scale of power to like fight if the emperors ever like try to attack the Marines, which happened in Marineford, and so that makes sense. And so if you have if the admirals were just as strong as the emperors, there wouldn't be a problem. And if the 5 stars were all individually stronger than the,
which is why Luffy
emperors,
should be just like straight up owning
Yeah.
Kizaru.
He should.
I'm not sure how hurt he got from that last punch, because it's hard to tell with the Looney Tunes stuff going on, you know.
Right. My theory, but just with the stars, you usually see the stars and the Tweety birds when you get knocked out in a cartoon. So I think he's going to be, at least for a couple chapters, kind of like Lucci when he was like, "Oh, I'm losing consciousness." Like, I could see something like that, just because of the stars. That's the only reason. Otherwise, I wouldn't think so. But
he got the stars.
But it's hard. But also, Kizaru is the most, like, of all the admirals. Like, we've seen Fujitora, we've heard about Akainu and Aokiji in their fight. Whereas, like, I really don't know what Kizaru can do. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how tough he should be, so I don't know what to expect from him, which is kind of fun, but also I don't know how to.
I've always thought of Borsellino as probably having the strongest power of all the admirals, but with the lowest ambition of all the admirals.
And like hockey, maybe as a result.
Yeah,
because that's kind of tied with that a little bit.
So. I don't know.
I know we all want to see him get pwned because of what happened. Was on Sabaody that he beat the crap out of the Straw Hats.
Yeah, he wrecked everyone. Yeah,
it is very satisfying. All those punches that I don't know. I didn't know I needed that.
Yeah,
but
it's been years. It's time for
helps me
payback.
get through my day.
I think that's what everybody's thinking. Hopefully, but no, it's at a fun spot right now, and I definitely need a backstory for Bonnie, because she's mad. She stabbed that dude in the beard. Probably didn't do anything, but
or maybe it did everything, and he just starts deflating like a balloon.
It's like, oh, my weakness. Swords!
Had I known there were swords, I would have never came.
Why did I get involved in this pirate business?
I would actually love if that happened.
That'd be great.
Like I wouldn't be mad at Oda one bit if she just stabs him and that happened to be the end. He was just like, oh no. I'd be fine with that. I could live.
Oh yeah, there's worse things that have already happened in the story. So, and I love One Piece more than anything. So
yeah,
cool. Have you watched Bleach, Tyler?
I haven't. I know it's one of the big 3. Very cool. There's the mask and Bankai or something.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool.
Oh, they did something interesting in the last episode. Where they have this Squad Zero, which is kind of like the original Shinigamis in Bleach, and there's like a whole bunch of different levels of squads, and Squad Zero is kind of just like the top, right? They protect the Soul King, and I don't know, they did an interesting thing where they didn't have, I don't think they had time to go through every person's Bankai, which would have been cool, and every single fight, because that would have been like 100 episodes or something, right? Or more. They took one of the officers in the Zero Division, and her ability is like the threads of fate. So all of these enemies that we're going to get in fights with different Shinigamis in the show, well, they did actually happen in the manga. they died in a way, in a very similar way that happened in the manga. So because her ability is her bankai is like the threads of fate, they were able to kind of use that to kind of foreshadow, okay, this is how they would have died, but this is how they die now because she's able to control their fate. So I thought that was clever and acceptable. Like, I feel like it would be hard to. I mean, it's acceptable because, like, I'm glad the manga's there to, like, I can go back and, like, read that, and it would be nice to see those fights just like a side. You know, at some point they just decide to, like, release other specials or whatever, like a movie or something, right? But yeah, I think that was like to me, it was the most acceptable way to, like, not make me watch 200 episodes to get there, to get what she did in one episode. Right. So yeah,
it's tricky when they're like, because aren't they like? It's not like they're rebooting it, but they're right because Bleach is old, but now it's back. Yeah. So that means that they have to not cut corners, but, like, give an excuse as to why that's happening. Yeah,
so
right?
they're trying to.
Yeah. That's all I know.
It's hard because there's so many episodes. I think they're trying to still make it interesting to people who maybe haven't watched it, but they can go into this and still be like, oh, this is really cool, and watch through the whole thing because it is really good. So that might be something worth watching as well. I mean, we're going through a lot of different animes, and I don't expect everyone to watch everyone. But
there's, I mean, Bleach is like one of the originals. Like, if there's anything worth watching, I feel.
I just think we need to get some of the good folks similar to those the good folks at One Piece to do Bleach and Naruto, so I can actually watch them. Listen, I feel I have nothing wrong with Bleach or Naruto. I really don't. It's just when you watch 1,000 episodes plus of an anime and you're so invested in it, can you really just do that to 2 others? I know you have. But, like, for me, I'm like, I love One Piece. Leave me alone.
I know.
But I have heard Bleach is amazing. Our logo is Bleach themed. So I gotta watch it at some point.
Very least.
I just kind of hope that there would be something.
Start with. I would start with this. And I would like to know, like, if you watched this. It's called the 1,000-Year Blood War arc. And I would like to know if you watch this, if you feel, like, confused at all. Because, I mean, at least you know who Ichigo is, right?
Yeah. I have a general idea of who he is and, like,
and I think as long as you have that...
like, what gets him where he's
then
to start.
That's enough to get through this. I mean, I'm saying that's enough. A lot of people will be like, how dare you? But I feel like it's such a good season that it's worth watching that, and then, like, when you have time, go back to and watch everything else. So
okay, that's good to know.
But yeah,
all right.
Do you have to open a gate now? Do you have
what?
Open a gate?
I have to open a gate. I have to leave in like 15 minutes.
Daniel has to go open a gate for somebody.
It's not gate time yet.
But he didn't want to tell them why.
Wow.
Just kidding.
Be like a Keyblade master. Open up gates for people.
I open up the gate to
get their gummy ships.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that you're not missing your gatekeeping duty.
Yeah, thank you. I've been looking at the time. I just have to leave like 15 minutes and I'll be right back. But I should just you guys keep going. I'm gonna go open a gate and I'll be back. Yeah, I'll just hop in.
I'll just take over.
Well, I'm curious then.
I know how you.
Like what Tyler likes to watch, like obviously One Piece.
Mm-hmm.
But
Whoa.
like, what's like? Are you watching anything like now that you're like, or are you going back and watching?
I haven't been doing anything recently.
Old stuff, or
I've seen a lot of the what I would call like at least modern classics. Well, I mean, I grew up with Dragon Ball Z, so I have that shonen baseline. But like, I've seen Full Metal Brotherhood. I've seen Hunter x Hunter. A lot of like the long-standing ones. I watched the first half of Attack on Titan, and then I just read the spoilers because you told me not to keep going. And now I get why. But
I didn't like where it went.
So I have a cursory knowledge of most of the mainstream. I've seen Demon Slayer, except the most recent girl swordsmith saga.
Swordsmith Village, yeah.
That's good. You should watch it.
I want to. So to answer your question, so I know a lot of the mainstream stuff and some like random, like The Devil's a Part-Timer, like random anime like that. I used to watch a lot with my ex-girlfriend, and we broke up like back a year ago. And since then, I haven't watched as many anime, partially because like that was something we did together. So that's the reason I haven't seen the new Demon Slayer. I just haven't gotten the motivation. But they look so cute. You have the love girl and the butterfly girl. What are they doing?
Man.
That means
so yeah. So to answer your question, I like a lot of anime, but I don't know as much of the niche stuff unless I just incidentally ran across it. I know more of the mainstream, but I am a true blue One Piece.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very nice.
I think I've told you, Jonathan. I don't know how much I've actually told on the podcast, but Tyler and I were roommates, and I was looking for a job, couldn't find a job. And so what do you do when you don't have a job? You become an otaku.
Yes.
And so cool thing about Tyler is are you caught up? Do you have every volume?
I have up to volume 98. So I don't have like the most recent 4 or 5 volumes. But yeah, basically.
Nice.
Yeah, so he had them all on a shelf. And so, while he was being productive at school and work, I was just like, let me read.
I was eating ramen and reading.
I just started reading them.
Mangas.
And I just got really into it. And then ever since then, I've been a menace to society.
Very good. Very good.
Yes. But yeah, I've heard of most anime, partially because I'm friends with Dan, but also I have other otaku friends, and they let me know about the anime that I should be watching that I try to make time for. But there's just so many.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, especially now.
That's why I have you guys.
Like, it's great for me.
Anime's cool.
Like, it used to be just a couple. Like, to me, if I only had like 2 or 3 different animes that at any given time to watch, I'm bored. Like, I need more. And now there's like 8 to 10 that I'm watching at the same time, and it's great.
I couldn't keep track of the storylines, man. I'd start mixing them around. Yeah. Your kill count is what, almost 300 animes now?
I don't know, man.
Like, I know last time we talked a few years ago, you're like, yeah, about 200 and whatever, and I'm like, what the?
No, I have an idea. It's definite. It's well over 300. So.
Oh no, man! That was like 2 years ago, man. You got like over 100 animes.
What can I say?
I think a few years ago when I asked you that, I did mine. And I was at 93.
To be fair,
93 different animes.
Wow.
And so
there are a lot of them
aptly named
that I haven't watched the whole thing. Like, there's a lot that I did the 3 episodes and I was like, But most of them,
that's fair.
I would say a good 250 of them plus are like legitimately. I'm like, I like that. That was good. Like the list of ones that'll go back and watch over and over again. Obviously, that's much shorter. But if I had time, I'd watch all of those again. But there's not enough time in the world, so.
Well, that's the thing. I'd rather not take a risk, and I'd rather go with the familiar. And that's why, like, while I run on the treadmill, I have Hunter on, and I'll just run, and I'll be like, "Get him, Kite! Get him!
Get him!" And he gets his head cut off.
Yeah.
And so, then he's dead. Whoa, man, my motivation's gone. I'm gonna go eat donuts.
My problem is I get invested in a show, and then even if I don't like it anymore, I still have to know what happens. That's me with My Hero Academia currently. I don't like where it's gone, but I gotta know what happens because I've invested too much of my heart. And so that's taking away from other shows I could be watching because I gotta see what's going on with these
stupid crying boy.
I always thought you were being too harsh on him, but you're right.
No,
he just cries a lot.
I've never liked Midoriya as a character.
I don't know.
I feel like there's other characters in the show that
he's not even the worst part.
So
I could go off on
I liked him, and I didn't. I felt like, okay, I gave you that figure when I was watching it, and I'm like, okay, Midoriya is going to be cool, and he does have cool abilities. Obviously, he is strong, but you are right, he's a crybaby, and I kind of got tired of it. So, kudos to you for continuing to watch, and I don't know if you're reading as well, but
it's not a noble
thing.
It's a curse.
I hear about it.
I care enough about all the other characters that I gotta know. But
no, I kind of go back and watch it every once in a while, but I'm not current. I'll admit that.
Okay. Anyways. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, it's okay. Sarah asked me if I'd be willing to continue watching. She's like, should I wait for you or like to watch or can I just watch it? I'm like, do what you're gonna do. I'll pick it up again. I don't hate Midoriya as a character. I just find that there are at least a dozen more characters in the series that I find more interesting than he is.
Yes.
And I like the figure a lot. As you can see, I proudly display it, and it's next to the other one that you gave me, Lemillion, which is one of my absolute favorite characters.
He should have been
All Might.
The next All Might.
Yeah, when he's crying and he's like, man, I should have been that. I'm like, yeah, you should have. You would have been so strong. You would have. So, I don't know. I think it's fine. I think maybe it's relatable to some people who cry a lot, and they...
I'm a pretty sensitive guy, but it's too much for me. I think My Hero has a villain problem. I think they just focusing so much on All For One. If they had moved on to Shigaraki, I think it would have been better. That's my opinion. I'm a villain guy.
Tyler's the villain.
And you undercut the villain you were building up, and I don't like that.
So out of I know how you feel about Gon. So Gon versus Midoriya.
You do.
What's your opinion on?
Oh well, I mean, Midoriya's wholesome. Gon's wholesome. I will dig into this one day. But I'm very certain Gon is wholesome, but he's also a masochist. And that's a big claim. But I've watched it all recently, and I have evidence.
You do have evidence.
That's another time. But Midoriya, I feel like he's more of a relatable character. Because
you're a crybaby.
As much as we don't well, it's because, as much as My Hero is action, it is a slice of life, really. Especially in the beginning. It becomes less and less so as time goes on, but, it's slice of life, people relate to not feeling special or feeling like they're the ones left out, and then he's, growing on this... So I relate to him. I
feel like the depth of character for Gon is just, there's so much more depth. And that might go against how you feel about Gon, because the argument against how you may feel about him is that he got kind of forced into adulthood too fast. He couldn't handle going from this this happy-go-lucky, carefree life to, he has to be a hero. He has to save everyone. And what would really happen if you were a kid that had to do that? Like, you would go insane. Like your mental capacity would not catch up to everyone dying around you.
Right. Yeah, and I agree. I think the only argument I'll make, which we should definitely do, an episode about this, but I think a lot of that trauma he had, he liked.
Okay.
It. Which might be him being messed up, from growing up so fast, but I do agree with what you're saying, and I think I can cut him some slack for that. So I'm not going to try to make the last jab and say, I won. But I think we should make an episode because we also have to make an episode. About how much I'm so frustrated that Code Geass is as big as it is.
What is?
It bothers me to no end. Code Geass, Lelouch.
Right. Oh yeah, you don't like that?
I watched a TikTok, and there was 8 people, and it was who's your favorite main character in anime? And 3 of them said Lelouch. I'm like, have you seen any other anime in existence? Because I think even Gone has more depth than...
Or even Eren Yeager.
There's so many characters.
Take the fascist kid. Anyway.
Out of all of anime, Lelouch...
Well, I haven't seen. Maybe he's pretty cool.
MC.
Did you watch it?
I did. I have seen it.
But then
no, yeah. Before I had these opinions, I watched it, and then I gave season 2 a 5-episode chance, and it failed.
Yeah.
Okay. 5 is generous.
5 is generous because that's half of some seasons in most anime.
That's true.
So I don't know. Maybe someone can come change my mind. I'd love to actually sit down with someone who really likes it. And listen to why they like it.
There's only 2 seasons. How could that be I don't know. I don't see how people could put him at the top of their list unless they haven't seen much of anything else.
I don't know if it's just recency bias or
by 12-year-olds.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. They just hook onto it and they're like, this is the best thing that's ever happened. And it's there's actually a lot of other stuff that's happened. But.
There is a lot of other stuff. But then also, one of them said, oh, mine's Tanjiro from Demon Slayer. I'm like, that's a good choice. I mean, he's wholesome.
And it's recent.
And he's like, haha, just kidding. And everyone laughed. I'm like, no, that's not just kidding. Because he said, he's like, it's Lelouch. No! just Tanjiro is a way better MC than Lelouch ever was. Tanjiro is the big brother that everyone wishes they had. He's so just kind and wholesome. He'll carry you in a box.
Very good.
By the way, whenever you get around to it, Tyler, and I take your time, but you will cry in the last season. This last season of in the Swordsmith Village.
I could use a good cry. Maybe I will.
It's really good.
Is it really good?
I cried.
Okay.
Yeah.
It takes a lot for me to get there, but
there's a lot of story depth.
Okay. It's just, man, those highs, Mugen Train, Entertainment District. Oh my gosh, I was like, it's hard to dive back in because it's such quality.
Speaking of crying, I have to ask you this before we end this, because my wife was making fun of me. You watched the live action One Piece, right? Did you cry?
Seen it all.
Yeah. Me?
At least with the Nami scene.
At least with the Nami scene. Yeah, I couldn't help it. Yeah. It was pretty good. And it's hard because similar how you were like, you want us to watch the Bleach, see how it feels. I want people who don't know One Piece to watch the live action because I'm too immersed. But yeah, I mean, when you start doing this, I can't help it. Come on. No, I definitely cried. And maybe a little with the barrels at the end.
The Sanji thing.
So, your wife, unfounded.
That was one part too. So those 2 parts, Sanji. Which part? There's Zeph.
With Sanji's backstory stuff. Yeah.
That got me, and I admittedly I'll give her a little bit of slack because she didn't she didn't watch the anime. She didn't read the manga or anything. So like, you know, we already have that foundation, and then for that to happen, like live action, and they did a great job. Yeah, that tugged at the old heartstrings. So
it did. I would not expect a newcomer to necessarily cry watching the first.
She was just staring at me like I'm a crazy person.
For us,
so
that's a lot. No, come on. That is a hard.
I didn't cry, but it doesn't mean that I wasn't emotional. I thought they were really good. My problem is I wanted to not analyze it too close together with the anime, but my mind just doesn't stop. But I thought it was good. And Nate, gosh dang it, your brother watched
your turn.
it.
Yeah,
you can watch it.
It's not an anime.
Yeah, Nate.
Don't you like your brother?
Don't you love your brother?
Yeah, it's real people.
Real people. Don't you love how we're talking down to you right now?
You don't watch it, you don't love your brother.
Yeah,
or us by extension.
Or which are also brethren.
Here's the thing: is I don't know how true that story is because he's never once mentioned to me that he's watched it. So I think you're probably getting him mixed up with
another guy.
Sean. With the
he's scared to talk to you about it because you're so resistant.
Yeah, you're so close-minded.
If you'd like soften a little bit, he could open up a little more about his otaku interests.
Yeah.
He's a secret closet otaku, and he has no idea that I'm on an otaku podcast.
You have to admit, like if Sean started getting into anime, he would just get he'd get buried in it. He has that personality.
Oh yeah, when he starts liking something,
he stops at nothing.
Like next day he knows everything about
D&D. Like one day he was just like, "What's this?" And then like a couple weeks later he's like, "I read all the books."
He knew more about like the rules and just the whole like D&D universe than I did, and I'd been in it at that point for.
I mean, I've been playing for 10 years, and there's still times now that I'm like, oh, I don't know if you can do that. Sean, do you know?
Like, oh yeah.
That's funny. I assumed he'd been playing way longer than me. I've been playing for a long time, and I don't know anything.
No, he just started playing like a couple years ago.
Man, yeah, I remember. I remember that was fun. Yep. Well,
you gotta get going, huh?
Yeah, I gotta get going. I mean, you guys can keep it up.
We're at an hour, so
keep it going.
That's when we wanted to when we wanted to stop anyway. So
we're losing retention at this point, probably.
But Tyler, we want to have you back on.
Thank you for joining us.
I mean, you have a setup at your house, so I mean, you could hop on whenever. You just let us know.
Absolutely.
And,
whenever.
Well, we record at the same time every week, so
awesome.
Love to be here. Loving the vibe.
Good to see you, Tyler.
Right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah.